Well, that wasn't what I intended to talk about, but I'm happy to promote my state and have to, certainly to Mr. Isaacman. Wichita, in particular, the air capital of the world, Wichita State, NIAR, and these astronauts, when I had a conversation with them by phone, asked me the question, do you know that you have the greatest space museum in the world in Kansas? To which I said, I know that. I'm just pleased that you know that. Can I tell the rest of the world that you're saying those things? And so I thank you for that opportunity, the Cosmosphere in Hutchinson, Kansas. Ms. Trusty, let me start with you. I'm pleased by your nomination that President Trump has chosen to nominate you. I appreciate the friendship you and I have had over a long period of time of my office in Dirksen, and we've passed and had conversations in the hall for a long time. I have great faith in you. Let me ask you these, well, on that topic, let me tell you that it's been my disappointment over time to watch the FCC become much more partisan and incapable of reaching decisions. It's changed in the time that I've been in the Senate, as the Senate has changed in the time that I've been in the Senate. And I would encourage you to use every effort to find ways to find solutions to problems and to bring the commission together to serve the American people. And I don't know that I need to ask you, but I assume you would say that you will do so.
Yes, absolutely, Senator.
Thank you. I want to mention just spectrum policy, as a couple of my colleagues have mentioned before. Looking at Congress's options about authorities to the FCC when it comes to reauthorizing that spectrum auction authority, what would your recommendations be?
Thank you, Senator. I think this is very important. So I would recommend that Congress restore auction authority as quickly as possible. I think it can be a catalyst to investment and innovation, particularly as it relates to expanding broadband infrastructure across the country. I also think it serves as a signal to the rest of the world about how we're prioritizing our telecommunications policy and where we're going. This is underpinning every emerging application that we can think of: artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and so much more. And so I think by showing that we have confidence in our regulatory processes and frameworks to have auction authority restored to support that kind of innovation, I think that will go a long way.
Ms. Trusty, media ownership is back in the news again. Do you believe it's important for the FCC to rid us of the rules that are no longer necessary or inhibit competition that currently exist in media ownership rules?
Yeah, appreciate the question, Senator. I definitely think we need a modern regulatory framework that reflects the realities of today's video media marketplace. As you know, the media marketplace has changed dramatically over the last 2 decades, driven largely by technology advancements and changes in consumer preferences. Consumers have access to all sorts of things, your traditional broadcast and cable, as well as live streaming video and social media, all things that make for a great personalized television viewing experience, and things that I think the FCC should continue to promote, that allows broadcasters to flexibly compete against technology companies for ad revenues, consumer viewers, as well as programming.
Ms. Trusty, that's particularly true in rural America, where the options are fewer than they used to be, and local programming is a difficult task to accomplish. So I encourage you to pursue those changes. One more, BEAD implementation. One of the things we're worried about is the timing of the FCC's efforts in deploying broadband funds when BEAD is yet uncompleted, because one of the goals is to make sure that we don't overbuild and that you're not both providing dollars to the same opportunities to provide broadband and internet services. So would you consider, how would you consider the FCC in holding off moving forward on allocating 5G funding until BEAD allocation decisions have been made in order to maximize that, the efficiency of those 5G funds?
I appreciate this question, Senator. This goes to the heart of interagency coordination. I think the FCC and NTIA need to be in constant contact about where BEAD is going, when it's going, so that we can be better stewards of taxpayer dollars, target funds to unserved areas, ensure that there's no duplication or overbuilding, as you mentioned. And there could be a possibility where BEAD infrastructure could be leveraged for USF funds or vice versa. But I think this all goes to interagency coordination and making sure we're the best stewards of taxpayer dollars. So you have my commitment that I would do that, Senator, if confirmed.
Thank you. Mr. Isaacman, let me tell you that I now have concern about your leadership capabilities. While you were indicating that you were working on getting your daughters to pursue STEM education, both of them were shaking their heads this way. I hope you can fare better at NASA.
We're going to fix this, Senator.
In the short 12 seconds that I have left in my time, I'll ask, I guess, one question. Do you believe that the current Artemis architecture featuring SLS rocket or Orion spacecraft is the best and fastest way to beat China to the moon?
Senator, this is the current plan. I do believe it's the best and fastest way to get there. I don't think it's the long-term way to get to and from the moon and to Mars with great frequency, but this is the plan we have now, and we've got to get this crew around the moon and the follow-on crew to land on the moon.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.